Welcome to Great Northern Cascade Division in N scale. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter video, but I wanted to go over how I was putting up skyboards. So I've got skyboards all the way around behind me along this center peninsula on the upper deck. Didn't really go into any kind of time lapses and going along with how I'm actually doing this. As I was recording it, my elbow is ready to just explode. I'm kind of regretting having done all of this work, but I'm really impressed with how it turned out. It's pretty straightforward using 1/8 inch tempered hardboard. I also got some curves in here as well, like you can kind of see behind me. I do also have lighting valance up as well, which you might be able to see. I might split that out into another video, same thing, just to show a little bit of the progress as I've been doing some of that lighting valance, and it does make a huge difference. It takes out the glare from the lights, it takes out the shadow from the lights and stuff like that. So I hope you like this one. Do subscribe, like, and follow along so you can see as I make a little bit more progress. Try to see how much I can get done so that I can then just do things kind of one-handed over the summer after I have surgery in another week or so. Figure I may as well get my money's worth out of it and just destroy my elbow now, so that it can then get fixed. So hope you enjoy this one. Take care. Alright, so this is the backdrop material that I'm going to use. It's 1/8 inch tempered hardboard. So on one side it kind of has this rough surface. On the other side it has a much flatter, smoother surface. So if we take a step back, this is on the center peninsula. Those boards are just kind of resting in place, but that's functioning what it'll end up looking like. Completely now blocks off visibility straight through onto that other side. On the ends I will also round it around. It's not going to go straight down and then square. It is going to kind of curve its way around. So I've left about half the width of the 2x4 there, and so hopefully I can then just bend that into a little bit of a curve and attach onto here. Around the walls, where I'm not on the center peninsula, where I have that 2x4 framing that I can attach it to, that was then strips of plywood that were kind of left over from doing all of the actual framework itself. So most of that is, I think it was 1932 inch 3-ply, 4-ply plywood, and then they're ripped into about 2.5 inch strips, I think. And then they are just attached into each of the studs. Probably doesn't need to go that crazy with going into the studs. Could probably have just been able to take the weight of these in the drywall, but I had them, so it was easy enough to line up the screw holes for it. So I'm going to start on the center peninsula here and start to get those in place. I'm just going to nail gun these in place because it's really easy, and so it's quick with my helper. I don't have to chew up too much of that time. And so I'm going to run through, nail gun this in place, and then see what the center peninsula looks like. All right, super duper quick and easy. This took about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, if that. And they're all nail gun done now. So we had the actual uprights. There are also cross pieces on these ones, just kind of the way that I built the framing. But it was also, I'm going to say it was intentional. If you watch one of the older videos, it wasn't. But I'm going to say it was intentional that there are then cross pieces, because these backdrops are then a little bit taller than they will be on the other decks. At the joins, try and get them as flush as you can so they are pressed up pretty tight to each other. All of this will then have some filler on the corner, on these joins, and just about see where the little nail holes were as they've popped through. Put just a little bit of filler on that, sand it down, and once it's painted, you won't be able to see the difference. But it does make a big difference in terms of having that backdrop up in place. Yes, there isn't on the lower decks, but on that upper deck now, you can't just see straight through to the other side of the layout. So it does certainly help. It also then cuts out the lights from the other side. There's no glare coming back from those. And if you are wondering, yes, part of the tempered hardboard is also to make lighting valances too. I don't know if that'll be in this video or I'll do that in a separate video, but use the same material, exact same process, they'll just be much thinner strips. So I am going to, I'm going to trim a little bit more of the tempered hardboard, and then I'm going to try and get that side going as well. So this is now with the rest of those skyboards done. and it really does make a big difference in just kind of framing things out and kind of setting that scene. Again, really blocking out the kind of sight lines through the far side, and even on this side, just it gets rid of that bare wall. In the corners here, it is then curved round. The radius is pretty close. I mean, it's not within, you know, 1/32 an inch or anything like that, but pretty close to the exact same radius on either side, just as they curve around. And again, just helps finish the scene a little bit more. I haven't exactly decided how I'm going to do this Port of Seattle area. The front line on this return loop will be visible, and then I haven't decided if the back line is going to be hidden, if I'm going to kind of bring some of the scenery forward a little bit. So at least the skyboard will be there anyway, so I thought I would go ahead and do that and get that in place. So again, this is just 1/8 tempered hardboard, and then it's ripped to right under 16 inches, just so that it was tight but not too tight to then fit into this gap, and so it's pretty much all aligned along the top there. So hopefully this one, it makes a little bit of sense. There's not really any time lapses as I'm going through and doing it. It's kind of too hard to try and film stuff and also make some progress and have helpers around and stuff as well with my elbow. But at least now I can kind of see what it looks like if we start to move a little bit further back. And so the next video I'm actually going to go and just keep working on it right away. They're already cut right there, is for the lighting valance to go along the top. So thanks for watching. Do check out that next video on the lighting valance and let me know what you think.